What's going on, y'all? Welcome to this month's State of the Bay. This is where we break down all the events, fish patterns, and then tackle needed to catch fish from month to month. This month, we got a lot to unpack. There's a lot going on, and the fish are absolutely on fire. I'm going to go in here on Google Earth and I'm going to show y'all where y'all can be going to catch fish and what's working right now. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some sponsors here of the episode. First up is Hammerhead Kayaks. If y'all are looking at getting into kayak fishing or upgrading your kayak, be sure to head over and check out Eddie Murphy at Hammerhead Kayaks. He has an assortment of paddle kayaks as well as pedal drive kayaks. He also carries a bunch of kayak fishing accessories. So if y'all are looking for stuff to rig out your kayaks, be sure to go over there and check him out. He also carries utility trailers. So if y'all are looking for a new trailer to haul your ATVs up to the hunting camps, this, that, and the other, be sure to head over, check out Hammerhead Kayaks. Next up is Taylor CPA. I personally use CPA to sort out all of my taxes. They do business all along the Gulf Coast, so anywhere from Texas to Florida, they'll be able to get y'all squared away. If you have a business and you're looking at somebody to sort out your taxes, be sure to check out Taylor CPA. Tax season is slowly creeping up on us, so make sure y'all are squared away this tax season. Use Taylor CPA. All right, so getting into the events, we got one event coming up in the month of December, and that is the Ceta Swamp 4th Annual Benefits Tournament. That is their Christmas Fishmas Benefits Tournament, and that is on December 18th. The cost for this tournament, I believe, is $50 per team, and it is Mississippi waters only. And in that tournament, you're looking for a 4-fish stringer, 3 trout, and 1 redfish. This is an awesome tournament that I've been a part of in the past. I plan on fishing it this month. So if y'all want to come out there and just talk fishing at the weigh-in, I'll be there as well. But December 18th, you have the 4th annual Ceta Swamp Fishmas Tournament. Mark your calendars. That's going to be a good one, y'all. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into what y'all are really here to look for, and that is the fish patterns for the month of December. So I'm going to dive into Google Earth, talk about kind of what the fish are doing, what y'all can expect for the month, and show y'all what we got. All right, so got Google Earth pulled up right here, and so here's the thing: in December, the water temperatures are getting cooler. I actually went out yesterday, and the water temps were 57 degrees, so it's really getting down there. Now, with that being said, the easier place to target fish right now are going to be in your smaller creeks. Smaller creeks like Heron Bay right here is one of them, or Little River over in Bayou La Battery is another one. But basically, any of your smaller creeks, West Fowl River, areas like that. I know I'm on the west side of the bay, but the same thing applies for the eastern shores. It's the same thing, y'all. But the fish are not in tight patterns right now. They're in in these creeks, in these deeper holes in these creeks, but they're not really schooled up yet. So with that being said, fishing a smaller creek with these fish being kind of spread out, if I bring a boat in here, I can basically fan this entire creek trolling up through here. So as I'm coming through here, it's easy for me to cover the majority of this creek. So if there are fish in here, I can fan out and it'll be easier for me to locate them and catch those fish. Whereas if I were to go to areas like Fowl River, it's a much bigger creek. I have to pick, do I want to fish this side going down, or do I want to fish this side going down? And maybe they're out in the middle and they're just kind of scattered out. Now that's kind of the deal for the first part of December. Now getting into kind of your back into December, as those water temperatures continue to creep down, those fish are going to school up. They're going to get in tighter patterns, and they're going to hold into certain areas along these rivers. So I have West Fowl River pulled up, and now this applies for basically any river you want to fish. If you're looking for speckled trout, the same thing applies. But what you want to look for here is, as I'm coming down, I'm going to focus on fishing the bends. So fishing areas like this, and maybe not so much this one, but definitely areas like this bend right here, this bend, so on and so forth. You want to fish these bends because, zoom in here and kind of show you what we got. Areas like this, when that water's moving down through here, as that tide's coming in and out, or the wind is pushing it, the current is pushing that water against this bank and swooping it around. What that's doing is causing this to slope down through here, and it's causing a cut on the back side of these bends, which is basically going to be a deeper hole. Every one of these bends, you're going to have a shallow side, which is your point, a deep side, which is right there in the back side of your bend. And those speckled trout are going to hold in those deeper holes right there. Now, as the feeding windows open up, they'll slip out here into this shallow stuff and go in there to feed. But as the feeding windows close, they're going to slip back down in here and stay in these deeper holes. So that is basically where I'm going to target these speckled trout later on into the month. Is I'm going to really focus in on these bends, these deeper holes right here in the rivers. Now for redfish. So I'm still going to stick with targeting my redfish inside my marsh systems. I'm going to zoom back in here into Heron Bay and stuff like this. So now you got to be careful with what boat you're going in here and doing this with, because you're going to have negative tides. And with these negative tides, you're going to start seeing your mud banks, and you're going to have your channels coming through here. So typically we would target our redfish, around the grass lines and marsh structure and oyster beds in here shallow. Well, a lot of that is now exposed. There's no water up there. These redfish are going to be holding down into your main channel. So I'm going to focus on throwing lures depending on my water clarity. If I have really, really clear water, I'm going to focus on a more finesse presentation, throwing soft plastics, grubs, things like that. Now, if we're getting a lot of rain coming through and my water's kind of dirtying up a little bit, I'm going to throw my redfish magics, my spinner baits, my wake baits, things like that have a little bit more flash and vibration that's going to get those fish's attention. But I do want to focus right around in my main channels, and that goes for pretty much every creek, West Fowl River, up around the causeway, so on and so forth. So that's pretty much the deal for December. Those are the patterns that I'm going to be sticking with, and they're patterns that have worked for me a lot in the past. So I hope this was helpful, y'all. If y'all have any questions, be sure to comment below, and let me know whether or not y'all are enjoying this State of the Bay. I feel like coming to y'all and giving y'all a fishing forecast kind of sets y'all up on what y'all can expect for the month and where y'all can find fish. I know there's a lot of fishing reports out there, but a fishing report is something that has happened in the past, right? So I want to bring to y'all things that y'all can expect for the future, what we have coming up, where y'all can start planning your trips ahead and finding these fish. But I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit that like button, comment, subscribe. We'll see y'all next time.